Good afternoon, Johnsburg Junior High School friends and families. I'm Dr. Pierce.
And I'm Mrs. Barrett.
And I'm Mrs. Grinchuk.
So welcome to this week's edition of the Parents Peak. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I know the weather is beautiful, and I think starting tomorrow the weather's going to start changing a little bit.
I'm looking forward to it.
We need fall. I don't know about you guys, but we definitely need fall. So Mrs. Grinchuk, you want to kind of start us off with some SEL?
Yeah, so actually this week and next week we're going to kind of combine SEL just due to Columbus Day being next Monday. So your student will either have SEL this week or next week, and we're going to be working on identifying our strengths and weaknesses and kind of how can we make our weaknesses work for us in a way. Maybe we have to be creative in some approaches, but how can we use that to become a strength for us?
That's great, and I know, speaking to a lot of students, they always identify their weaknesses. I can't do this. I wish I can, and so they kind of lack that confidence. So there's so many strengths that we all have as people that it's really important. I'm glad that Mrs. Grinchuk and Mrs. Brosh are going to be talking about that. But identify those strengths because we all have something to offer. So I think that's really important. So thank you, Mrs. Grinchuk. Mrs. Barrett, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, we've got sports news. Our 7th and 8th grade volleyball season just ended this past weekend. So congratulations to the 7th and 8th grade girls in a great end of the season. We've got boys basketball starting. The teams just were announced. We've got practices, and it's going to be a great year. And then we are hosting a soccer tournament Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. And lastly, cross-country conference is today in Woodstock, and then sectionals on Saturday. So a lot of stuff going on in sports. Good luck to our Wildcats. Kind of switching gears, academics. Quarter one ends on Friday. I cannot believe we're already at the end of quarter one. Sectionals for cross-country is actually Friday. Thank you, Dr. Pierce, for that.
Yeah, that's not, I gave her the notes. She wrote Saturday, or I wrote Saturday, so that's my bad. But it is Friday.
Cross-country sectionals Friday, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Switching gears to academics. Quarter one is ending next Friday. So if you could please help us help our students, check out those grades in Skyward. We have been working. We get a report of students who are getting D's and F's in Skyward, and we've been working in the office, calling them down, working on what missing assignments can we turn in, what teachers do we need to talk to about makeup work. So we've been doing some work with our students, and there are folks that have been improving their grade, but the finish line is next Friday for quarter one, and then it's a fresh start in quarter two. So if you could help us to help them access the parent portal in Skyward and check out your students' grades.
And remember, we've said this before, that there's two different types of D's and F's. We have students that try really, really hard, and they're just struggling with the D's and F's, and they need that extra support and help. And then there's also the students that, and I don't like to call students lazy, but they're lazy. They don't want to do their work. They're not trying their best on their assignments. And there's those D's and F's. So, talk to your students. We offer a lot of supports here, that can definitely help get those grades up. And speaking of those supports, you can expect an email from me coming out this week about tutoring. Tutoring is going to start next week. If we got that schedule in place, so expect that. Tutoring is by invite only as far as the teachers are concerned. So if you do have a student that you really feel would benefit from tutoring, please reach out to myself or Mrs. Barrett's, and we'll try to get them in. But right now we're looking at those students that are having the D's and F's, that are trying their best, that just need that extra help, and they kind of get first priority, versus students that aren't trying well in class and they just need a place to get their homework done after school. So we're really focusing on, getting that work done, but then also, showing up those skills a little bit as well. And then finally for us, we've been having a lot of vandalism here at school. Extremely inappropriate pictures, inappropriate texts. As far as the N-word, we've had that 4 different times, unfortunately, written on our bathroom stalls. And again, that's just not who we are as Wildcats, and it's not who we should be as people either. So if you would please reach out to your students and just let them know, one, it's inappropriate to do that stuff, but 2, if they see something, say something. We spoke to a student the other day that said, "I'm not a snitch." There's a difference between ratting and reporting. When you rat someone out, you're trying to get them in trouble on purpose. But if you're reporting something that's unsafe or inappropriate, and I think that's really important. We're trying to instill that with our students. So please remind them that if they see something, please say something. We keep that anonymous. We don't tell the other students, who said anything. But we really need to get out of that mentality that I'm not going to say anything because it'll just make it worse. And, we're trying our best to get through that. But again, we take a lot of pride in our school, and I know a majority of our students do too, that, we shouldn't have to close down bathrooms because people are drawing inappropriate pictures and saying. So thank you for doing that. That's really all that I have. Next Monday, we do not have school because we do have Columbus Day. So that's a week from today. Mrs. Grinchuk mentioned that before. We'll do our Parents Peak on Tuesday of next week. But that's all we have. Mrs. Grinchuk, anything to add?
I don't think so.
Mrs. Barrett?
No, that's
all right. So on behalf of all of us on our staff, we hope you have a great week. Hopefully you got your hoodies ready for the weather this week, and we'll talk to you next time. Have a great day.